Hi, this is Katie Hillman again with Blooming in Obedience, and I wanted to come on real quick today just to talk about the difference between running a hustle and then following God's plan and being obedient. I talked to you guys about kind of my past before in the previous video about just how I was working, 16, 17 hours, 7 days a week. I was very successful, but I never had time to spend with my family or to even be sick, really, to be honest with you. And after I had that heart attack, God stopped me. That stopped me in my tracks. Like, I had to stop. And all I could hear from him was rest, just rest. And so I took a 2-year break from my business to heal and to make sure that I was going to be able to continue. One thing I could definitely say is that I could not sustain what I was doing any further. It just wasn't going to happen. It wasn't sustainable to begin with, let alone the fact that I had the heart attack in the middle of it. Had it not been that, it would have been something else, probably a mental breakdown, because I had a couple of different boutique owners from out of state that were ordering from me in bulk, and they were constantly wanting to change their orders. They were constantly wanting to change the designs after I had already spent lots of time designing them. And it was running me in the ground. And I was not in control of my own business at that point. And I realized that once I had the heart attack and had time to stop and just take a step back and look at everything from a different perspective. And that's when I realized if it's God, there is no hustle. Like, he never intended for us to hustle. Yes, we are going to have to work. You have to do your part to bring in your harvest and sow your seeds and do the good things that you're supposed to be doing for the Lord. He is our provider, though. He is Jehovah Jireh. He is the one that provides for us. And a lot of times we get so stuck in that rat race of what is going on in the world that we just lose all consciousness of that. And I just feel like part of what was exhausting me, and it still to this day can suck me back in, is, for instance, the community pages on Facebook, around your local area. You'll see other artisans and different people advertising for their businesses on there, and you'll be like, wait a minute, that looks just like what I do, or they got that idea from me, or I have all this competition that I wasn't aware of. All these things start going through your head. That is not God. First of all, God doesn't need to advertise you on the community pages of Facebook to get you business. If he wants someone to be in contact with you and do business with you, he will guide them to you. And that's how that works. So the first thing that I had to do was just stop, take a step back, and remember that I need to unlearn some things. So first thing I needed to unlearn is that there is no competition. When God's involved, we're not competing with anyone. We're doing a job, a task, a purpose for him. And it's going to go the way he wants it to go. We don't have to worry about competitors. And especially if they're not rooted in the Lord and they don't have a kingdom business, you're not on the same playing field. They don't have the same protection that you do. They're not constantly praying for their business and praying for blessings that they want to be giving to others. And none of that is happening with the hustling people. They're just constantly feeling like they're on this rat race where they're just going, and they never stop until something happens that causes them to have to stop. And that for me was the heart attack. That caused me to have to stop. I didn't have a choice. And had that not happened, I would probably be doing the same rat race that I was doing before. And actually, who knows if I would even have lived through it long enough for that, because it was definitely affecting my health. It was affecting my mental, everything about my mental health. And then, I wasn't here to be a good mother or a wife. And I was here because I work from home, but I wasn't here. And I was mostly downstairs in the basement. If they needed me, they had to come down there to see me. They had to come down there and ask for me to help them with whatever it was that they needed. And that's not fair to your family either. So I had to learn how to draw lines and how to have a better work-life balance. And that was something that I pray for constantly, is for balance. And that was when I started praying for balance after I realized I had been living in nothing but chaos. And that is no way to live, and it's not sustainable. And it will only last for so long. And I'm glad that I was able to break away from that and to take a step back and to see that the Lord had different plans for me. And yeah, it had a lot to do. I was already doing a lot of what he wanted me to do, just not letting him guide me through it and letting him hold my hand and walk me down the pathway in the direction I'm supposed to go. I keep getting shiny chicken distractions here all the time. I want people coming from every direction. Satan has all directions covered, coming at me to pull me away. They know exactly what to say and do to pull me away and get me distracted from what I was doing. Thing is now, I recognize it. And I don't want to live that way. And I know that that's not God. And so I have tried to quiet those things. I've tried to pray for balance and pray for stability, pray for all of the provision and the financial provision, the protection over everything. That's God. And so when people come to me, I have people that come to me and say, oh, have you seen what this girl's doing? Or have you seen that this girl's doing with these other businesses that might be just like mine? I'm like, okay, well, that's nice. I'm glad to hear that they're doing well. I'm not on the same team as them. In my opinion, there's no competition. I don't tell the people that, but that's just where I'm at in my own brain. We're not playing with the same rules, I guess you could say, because we don't have the same CEO. Almighty God is my CEO. He will be my only CEO, and everything about this business is his. I am just his producer. I do what he needs me to do. I talk to the people I need to talk to. The other thing I found with the whole hustle mentality is everybody thinks they have to do everything on social media. Every bit of advertisement, everything is on social media. And all of the social media is not just one. We're talking about Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, all of them, YouTube. And I'm guilty. I have most of those, but I don't use them all anymore. And I've kind of picked where my demographic, I know where my demographic is at mostly. And I try to post there, but I don't stick to a schedule. I don't say, oh, I'm 3 times a week. I got to do this, and this. And the other days I got to fill it in with this and this. I got to make sure I have them all planned out and programmed to be posted at the time I need. And, you aren't going to get any work done other than that, if that's what you're going to do. And if you can, then you're staying up all night, and there's no way that you're not. I'm sorry, but there's just not enough hours in the day. You're not running a business and doing a good job. You're not running a business consistently and with efficiency if you are doing that way. If you are up at all hours of the day and night and barely sleeping, your battery's going to die at some point. You're going to run out of gas. It's going to happen. And then are you really going to even have what it takes to get yourself back up, pick yourself back up and keep going? Is hustling really the way you want to be? Is that the way you want your life to be? It's worth sitting back and just kind of talking through this in your own head and maybe praying to God about it, obviously, and see what he says about it. What does he say that you really should be doing? Does he think that you should be constantly on the go and trying to constantly advertise, constantly talk to people? The one thing I have realized, though, is a lot with the hustle mentality too, is that they don't get out and talk in front of people. They don't get in front of people. Go out on foot. You should be going out on foot equally as much as you are on social media. And yeah, there's algorithm. You got to catch all that. If you got to do the times of the day and stay consistent. I still get business, and I don't do it that way all the time. So that's true to a certain extent. But I also go out and I talk to people. I go out in town and I barter with other artisans, and I'll say, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. We exchange services in some type of way, and then everybody's happy. We've helped each other, and then we promote each other. It's that easy. But if you are constantly doing that hustle where you're just on that hamster wheel constantly, you're not getting anywhere except for in the same circle. It's just a constant circle until you finally run out of gas and you flop out. And that's what happens. So some things that you want to maybe unlearn is, like I said, would be the unlearn the urgency that, this person's doing this. Oh, I have to get on that train right now. I have to do this because I'm going to run out of time and everybody else is going to get all the sales. Who cares? Who cares? Pray about it. God will send you the people he wants you to have business with. He'll send you the business that you need. He'll send you the income that you need. It's more about a faith walk. It's walking in faith that God will, and that he is that same God, and that he will provide for you. That's a hard one. It's a hard one. It is hard. But that's what faith is. And that's what a lot of this journey with a kingdom business is about, is taking that leap of faith and executing it, even if you can't see what's happening in the spirit. If you can't see results right now, you don't need results right now. God doesn't work on a timeline like that. That's not who he is. So the other thing is unlearning comparing yourself to everyone else. You're not the same. You're not even in the same game. It's not even the same whatsoever. Like I said before, you have a CEO and his name is God. They don't. There are other kingdom business builders. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is most of your worldly friends that have businesses are not doing it the same as you. They're hustling because they have to. They don't have God to help them through that. So stop comparing yourself. Just remove yourself from that situation altogether. You're not even in the same, just be happy for them. If it's working for them, great. You do not have to do it the same way. You just don't. Maybe unlearning the fear of the what if, what if I don't do this, then will this happen? You can go in circles in your head for hours on that kind of thing. I know, because I used to do this. I used to constantly just what if. You got to let it go. That's showing a lack of faith. So you need to you're either all in and you're doing this for the Lord and you are going to do it his way on his timeline, or you're going to hustle and you're going to just keep going in circles and keep going in circles, and it just never stops until you finally you finally fall out, and then you may not be able to get back up. So you better have a plan B if you're going to do the hustle. I guess that's where I'm going with that, is the hustle will eventually knock you out, and you should have a backup plan if you're going to go that route. If you're going to go the God way, you'll be okay. You need to have faith in the unseen. You need to have faith in what's coming and what God is doing for you in the moment right now. He says in Jeremiah 29:11, he knows the plans he has for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, but to give you a hope and a future. And he means that. And that is truth. There is no hustle in that. You don't need it. God's got you. So I hope that helps someone. It really has helped me. And I try to remember this every time I start catching myself falling into the hustle mentality again. Take a step back, talk to God about it, and ask for realignment. Ask him to keep you focused on him. If anything that I said today resonates with you, leave a comment and talk about it. Let's talk about what's going on. Maybe you have some ideas that we haven't talked about yet here that could be helpful for everyone. Like I said, subscribe, and join the conversation. Let's help each other out. Let's be united kingdom business builders. Stay focused on Jesus. Until next time, stay obedient.